Disney World has over 25 resort options. How in the world do you choose which one is best? I have a resort expert here that is going to guide us through picking the best resort for you and your family. Sarah is a mom of three, a homeschooling parent, and plans Disney trips for herself and others as a travel planner. So, Sarah, can we just jump right in and start with the resorts, giving us like a brief overview of each of them? We'll start with the value resorts.
Yeah, let's do it. So, Disney has categorized their resorts to help us understand them better since there are so many, and value resorts are the most affordable. I mean, they're family friendly. You're going to find like Disney theming usually everywhere, like huge statues of a Dalmatian, a Buzz Lightyear. They're going to have large pools. You're going to see more families. You're going to see food resorts, but no table service. So, these are great. Like, if you're wanting to hit the parks, if you want to feel like you just walked into a Disney movie, stay at a value resort. And if you're like watching your budget, but yeah, that's a value.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That was like, that's it in a nutshell. Love it. All right, we'll hop over to the moderate resort.
Okay, so the moderate resorts are perfect for families of five. So, like,
Okay.
if you have that third child and you need a fifth sleeper, you're going to go moderate because it might be more affordable than two rooms at a value. You'll find less like in your face Disney theming at a moderate. So, think like New Orleans, French Quarter, Caribbean Beach. You're going to have water slides at your pools, which is an upgrade, and even hot tubs, which value resorts don't have. So, you're going to see a little more amenities. You'll probably have a table service plus a quick service option. And some moderates, well, all moderates have another form of transportation, whether it's like the Skyliner or you can boat to Disney Springs. So there's like a little more there, but it's not too expensive yet.
Okay, definitely sounds like we're getting into the upgrades, and now we're gonna bump all the way up to the deluxe resorts.
Okay, deluxe resorts are where you go to spend your income. But no, they are wonderful. They are what you usually see on social media. If we're being honest, these are the ones people share, the ones people talk about. This is your Polynesian, your contemporary, like you're in the magic. But they are more expensive, but you are getting extra things for your money. You're getting the largest rooms on site. You're usually getting access to the monorail, the Skyliner, and you can usually walk to a park just depending on which deluxe, which is so valuable. But also those extended evening hours for deluxe guests is a huge perk. But yeah, deluxe, those are the ones you're seeing all over Instagram that are making you want to go to Disney World.
It's like the ones that I want to stay at but
Yeah,
can't quite afford.
no,
Oh.
girl, got you. Yeah.
So another one that they're not technically Disney resorts, but Disney acknowledges them by calling them their good neighbor hotels. Can you share about that?
That's a great summary. Disney acknowledges them like, hi. So good neighbor resorts are going to be like your Drury Inn, your Hiltons, your Hyatts or Marriotts. And they're going to be either in Disney Springs, like, or the Flamingo Crossings area. So you're still close to Disney World. You're not like staying 35 minutes away. And they have some kind of relationship with Disney, but they are not Disney owned. So you're not going to get Disney transportation. And most of those resorts have no additional like perks that you get to staying on site. Now, some do. We can talk about that later. But yeah, but those rooms are usually bigger. So it's nice, and you usually have a full fridge, like amenities you're used to in a hotel. And they're great for families wanting to watch their budget or book with points. So
True. Yeah, very true. That's where we usually hit, is like getting in with those, like, those deals and those points and
yeah,
whatnot.
it's a great option. They're definitely not bad. I would never talk against them. So
Yeah. All right. You gave us like a perfect drive-by overview of all of the resorts. Like, that was everything I could have asked for. So now that we have an idea of the different resorts that are offered, can
yeah.
you just kind of guide us with the first step? Someone says, I want to go to Disney. What is their first step in choosing their resort?
Oh man, loaded question. Just you need to know your budget. That needs to be your first. But
Mhm.
most of the time as moms, we already know what we can spend or not. So let's just put that aside, and let's say your first thing you want to look at is your actual like goal of your vacation. Like, are you wanting to be able to get to the parks quick? Are you wanting to spend a lot of time in the parks? Are you wanting more resort time, a mix of both? And then knowing that plus already knowing your budget will help drive your resort decision. So
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Although sometimes I try not to, I want to go above my budget.
oh, But you have to, but most of us know our, but like me and you,
Yeah,
I know I can't spend $800 a night on a hotel. So like it's out. Like I'm not even going to look at
I know. Yeah, definitely. One day, one day I'll be
it.
there.
One day.
So you kind of briefly touched on the amenities as we go from like value to deluxe. What are some just kind of like amenities to look for in the resort?
Okay. So I would say, first off, if you're a mom traveling with kids, look at the food options at your resort
Mm.
because you're going to be there. And if like you're staying at the boardwalk, there's not a lot of quick service. So it's hard to go find a piece of pizza or chicken fingers for your kids. Um, it just, but like, at the value resorts, you can just walk over to the food court and it's there. So definitely look at the dining options, if those meet your goals, if it makes your vacation easier or maybe not as easy. And then I would look at things like pools, playgrounds, resort activities, which all Disney resorts have basically the same activities, like movies under the stars, some kind of like trivia by the pool. So that's generic. You're going to get that deluxe to value. So don't think you're getting gypped to value with some of that. And then I also look at like time to park. So if you're considering these resorts, you have young kids, like how long is it going to take you to get from All Star Movies to Magic Kingdom or from Boardwalk to Epcot? Like look at where you're staying. Like where is that resort located in the Magic Kingdom resort area? And that will help drive that too. Like knowing location. That's an amenity at Disney World. A location is an amenity at Disney World.
Very much so. And just, yeah, that the options of transportation, I think is like huge because we love the Skyliner. And so if we can get on a Skyliner resort, my kids are like, we're good.
But I never think about that booking anywhere else. Like transportation is never a thing. But at
Uh-huh.
Disney, and you're also going to want to look like if you want to cook in your room, you're
Oh,
going to have to stay in a deluxe villa or maybe the cabins, which is that going to be deluxe now? I don't know. Because Disney World rooms have like coolers, mini coolers, not even fridges. So if cooking is important to you, I would definitely look at the kitchen rooms, like the villas for sure. Animal Kingdom, Saratoga, Old Key West, those that have the full kitchens and laundry.
oh, for sure. I always have said, like, I'm never doing laundry when I'm on a Disney vacation. And our last one, we were just there so long that we had to do laundry, but I still didn't do it. I made my husband do it.
Had a
It was lovely.
one load of laundry. So when I'm home, I'm not overwhelmed with like the bucket full of laundry.
Very
But yeah,
true.
it's not like ideal.
Yeah. That's one thing that I'm like, okay, future me is not going to thank me for, but future me is the one that has to deal with it.
Yes, it is. But right now, vacation mode. But yeah,
Yeah.
all resorts will have laundry, but only a few options will have in-room laundry. So just keep that in mind. Yeah.
Okay. So, what if a family plans to spend like most of their time at the park? They're saying, I want to get the bang for my buck out of
Yeah.
these park tickets.
I hands down would go Pop Century.
Oh,
Let me just kind of explain that. So Pop
okay.
Century Value Resort. Oh no. And so you get really good pricing. Like what are we looking at? Maybe 180 a night in off season with some deals. And that's great. And then you have access to the Skyliner. So I would think like that. If you want bang for your buck, I would totally look at a value resort. So we love All Star Movies. We think it's adorable with the theming. We've never had issues with shuttles to the parks from All Stars. And with the money you're saving, I mean, you could always call a minivan.
Oh, love
So,
those.
but yeah, value resorts, I think, are just prime for wanting to spend all your time at the parks. On the flip side, after staying at the Epcot resort area, I also think that's a great area if you have the budget because you can walk to, technically two parks from there. And
Mhm.
when you are just tired, you don't want to wait on the Skyliner or a bus, like being able to walk back to your room from a park or two, it's pretty clutch. I can't lie. I get it. I feel
Yeah, I haven't been able to do that before, but I can hop on the board with the minivans. Those oh my gosh,
those are
love.
fair to myself every
Oh,
time. One
yeah,
minivan. So yeah.
agree with that. So then on the flip side, what if a family wanted to have more of like a resort focused vacation? What would you suggest?
That is when I'm like, go to Deluxe. Like if you really think about the money you'd be spending on extra activities and you take that instead and put it to your resort, and it's like all there. It almost feels all inclusive minus food, but you can deal with that in other ways. But I would stay somewhere fun, like that has water slides or a beach to play on, playground. So we love staying at the Poly for a resort centered stay. We also had a ball at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Like if we're going, like we're barely going to go to the parks, and we might sneak over there. We're annual pass holders, so ignore if you're not. But Animal Kingdom Lodge is just stacked full of fun things for adults and kids. I mean, there's animals and some of the best food on property. Like you could go to Animal Kingdom Lodge and not think about the parks, is how awesome that resort is. So take in mind, like, what do we want to do? Are we swimmers? No. Well, then don't worry about a cool pool. You know, maybe do location where you can see the fireworks from your room, things like that. So yeah.
That's such a good point, because I always, as Animal Kingdom as a park, I kind of just discredit it, and I don't have I don't have the appreciation for it that I know that I should. But I hear so much good things about Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah. We are going there for our third time. Like,
Oh wow.
and I usually try not to repeat resorts because I want to have new experiences. But
Yeah.
time we've gone there, it's just been so relaxing and quiet and refreshing, which to leave a Disney World vacation refreshed,
Yeah.
count me in. And bread service, you can get the bread service to go. And so
Mm.
I'll like mobile order the bread service from Sanaa and pick it up and take it back to our room. And we save a lot of money staying in a 1 bedroom there, because we'll stack the freezer, because we have a real freezer because it's a kitchen, with like Mickey bars from Walmart. And so you can get, 6 for the price of 1. And so we'll
That,
stack all the fun things, and we'll have board games in the room, and it's really fun.
that sounds awesome. So we know that Disney obviously has great perks with their resorts and all of that. I mean, they have everything covered down to transportation options. But what about the Good Neighbor hotels? We kind of touched on that. Do they get any kind of like Disney perks that make it Disney-fied?
Usually no. There's a short list, and I've linked to that in my resort guide of the Good Neighbor resorts that actually do get early entry. But most of them do not. So I would, if you're gonna stay at a Good Neighbor resort, I would just keep that in mind. Like we're not staying there and expecting like a Disney experience. We're staying there so we have room for our family. We can easily get to the parks and save money to spend in the parks. And so I think that's the perk of a Good Neighbor, is you're maybe not dropping $500 not on your room, so you have so much more money to spend on like experiences like character dining or Bibbidi Bobbidi, like things like that. So
I think that's a really good point, because I know that value resorts can kind of like take some heat for, being like bottom of the barrel. But in my thought, like we're just reallocating our money elsewhere, like
yeah,
you just said.
like minivans, and like shout out to the value resorts because they were recently renovated. Like those Murphy beds are comfortable. They're not like
Mhm.
sleeping on a fold out sofa bed where you feel that bar, like
Yes.
these are real beds, and they're comfortable, and the resort is so clean, and the everything about a value resort is good. Don't let anybody lie to you.
I kind of compare the value resorts to just like your typical hotel room that you're staying at.
Yeah.
That's what I think that's on same level, and I'm happy with that. They're nice, clean rooms, and like you said, updated, so they feel pretty fresh.
Right. The only kicker is like for our family of 3 kids. So we have to get 2 rooms or stay in the All-Star movies, like our music family suite. And at that point, I'm like, well, if I'm paying that much, I might as well go deluxe. So that's the hard part. But sometimes you can get 2 rooms at a discount way cheaper. And that's a really good option because then you have space and too many coolers. So
Very true. And speaking of the mini coolers, do you do a grocery order?
every time. Do you?
Typically we do. Typically we do. Yeah, I've gotten better at doing them. I don't always do them ahead of time. But yeah, we usually do some type of like Instacart order.
Every time, yeah. Even if it's for like a case of water bottles. And so tip with that, you can have bell services bring your groceries to your room so you don't have to go meet them. They'll hold your stuff as long as you don't have alcohol in it, and they will charge you, I think, $6 to deliver it to your room. But to me, I will take $6 to not lug like 8 to 10 grocery bags and cases of water to our room. But yeah, keep that in mind because charges add up. But still, it's a service. So.
Yeah, very true. There was one time where we needed to get an Amazon order when we were staying at one of the All Stars, and yeah, they delivered that to our room. There was a little upcharge for the delivery,
Yeah,
but
all
we
delivered.
still got it.
Yeah, Amazon will definitely charge you no matter what. So sorry.
Yeah. All right. Can we pop over to DVC rentals? So I know you're also
Yeah.
kind of like an expert in that as well.
I love DVC. I actually just became an affiliate for DVC Rentals today. I'm so excited because I love.
Yay.
I have rented through DVC sites. I've also rented direct from owners. These are things travel planners should not say publicly, but it is what it is. It's a great way to save money. And so sometimes we'll rent from DVC, which just basically means you're renting from people who own Disney Vacation. Which is a timeshare, without having to buy your own DVC timeshare. And you get really great perks. Like, for example, I'm paying way crazy low rate in June for a stay at the boardwalk because I rented DVC points, like under $300 a night, which is fabulous for a family of 5 because that's what I would have paid at like Port Orleans Riverside.
Mhm.
And so it's a great option. The only negatives about DVC is there's like no flexibility here. And so if you cancel, there's a chance like you're just out of your luck. And if you're renting direct points from an owner, you cannot get travel insurance for that. So I recommend doing it maybe last minute if you're going to rent direct from an owner, or renting through somewhere like the DVC rental store where you can at least use those points later if you have to cancel. You won't get a refund. So if you want a refund, I would say book through Disney. But yeah.
I've seen different DVC deals pop up, and sometimes I'm just like, come on, let's make it work. Let's go.
Today, I know I got sent one today and I was like, is that even a real life pricing for like, it was a Run Disney. And I was like, that should be triple that price. So I hope someone snags it and is happy as can be. But yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a great way to get definitely cheap pricing for those higher end hotels.
That and like the other like best rates I've seen for and DVC's only deluxe. You can't rent DVC points for all-star movies. And so like, then they'd be like, we're not making any money here. But you can also get a Disney Visa card, and that has outstanding discounts for deluxe resorts. They usually like 2 to 3 times a year get 35% off at a deluxe. It's like 20, 15 at the moderate values. And so that's a huge perk. With that savings, annual pass holders get really good discounts. Those can be kind of last minute. You kind of have to wait on them. So always look out for that too if you're not wanting to like risk the DVC side, because it makes people nervous. I get it. That's a safer way if you want to rent direct. Just look for those discounts.
Yeah, we'll talk about discounts a little bit more because I want to go more into that. But I want to touch on first any like offsite or Airbnb options.
Yeah. Okay. So these you have to be super careful with. I personally stayed offsite in an Airbnb type rental. So I rented direct from an owner. I stayed at Windsor Hills, and I have had a spectacular experience with this condo. And so we were maybe 7 minutes to Magic Kingdom. Like,
Oh, awesome.
awesome. So we were just as far from the parks as All Stars. Like if you look at a map, Windsor Hills is here, like All Stars is here. Not kidding. So that was great. The only negatives that I would even say about that is like you don't have like your lifeguard. So as a parent, you actually have to really be aware at the pools because you don't have 17 Disney lifeguards, doing their thing. And then you're going to pay for parking, like at the parks, which isn't a thing for me, annual pass holder, but something to keep in mind. But we love having the full kitchen. And like if you're traveling with like your in-laws or your mom and you need separate bedrooms, I would totally look into like an Airbnb, VRBO type situations. Just like read the renter, like all the reviews very carefully. Look at the map where you're looking at staying. I avoid iDrive. I would just avoid it. It's very crowded. Like it's not as close to Disney as you'd think, and it's very crowded. So I like the Windsor Hills kind of area. And there's a few other cute ones that are popping up too.
Yeah, it seems like some of them have really cute theming and just kind of like over the top bedrooms and everything too. So it's like always kind of tempting.
It is. And when my kids are like, are we going back to our condo, Mom? I'm like, you don't want to stay at the Poly? They're like, no, we want to stay offsite at the condo. It's because like they have their own room, and it was like Toy Story toys and like a PlayStation. And this owner, who I love her, but she just put like this old school like arcade, like you know what I'm talking about, like the big games in the kids' room. So we're staying there in a few weeks, and my kids are gonna lose their mind when they see like the upgrades that this owner has done. So not mad about it.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't be either. But again, if your kids don't want to stay at the Poly with you, I'll hop on over.
I'm glad I have a friend in you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I will take that for them. Okay, let's go back to different promos for the rooms. So, I know it's kind of like suggested to book earlier, but what happens if, you see a promo later or a cheaper room? What are the
Yeah,
options?
for sure. You can always apply a discount later, except the Disney Visa card discount. So if you booked a room and you did not book it with a Disney Visa card, you cannot go backwards and get that discount applied now that you have a Disney Visa. You have to rebook. So keep that in mind. I would go ahead and get a Disney Visa, book at least the $200 deposit with that so you can apply the discount later. But if you have a good travel planner, which I'm sure you do, they will be watching for these discounts for you. Or if you're booking on your own, you can call Disney or do it online and have them applied as they come out. Disney, you can kind of get a pace to when they're going to release discounts. It's usually they'll have a spring discount, a summer discount, summer fall discount, and then sometimes they'll have some for like early December, November. And this last year they even had them for January, which was really cool. But you usually don't have to pay rack rate if you're keeping an eye on that. But you will pay full price. You will pay full price the week between Christmas and New Year's. There's just no way around it.
Yeah. So I just kind of want to go into that, and with knowing that maybe there's a promo coming, is it best to wait, or should they already have their room booked and then apply the promo later?
I would already have your room booked because room availability, get what you can. And at the lowest rate, the earlier you book, that's the lowest room rate you're going to probably see. Like I've even seen it where people have booked a year in advance. And then when the discount comes out, because the room prices have already gone up so much, the discount really wasn't much, or if anything for them, because they're booked so early, they had the lowest rate already. And then if it's not and the discount's better, yes, then you can apply it. So I would always book early, apply the discount later. It's never an issue at all.
That's a really good point. I like that. And then I'm also just thinking about like special ticketed events.
Yes. So if you have an on-site stay booked, you'll get like first access to Mickey's Very Merry or the Halloween and sometimes the Typhoon Lagoon water parties. So that's nice. There's also ways you can, if you don't want to book a package, or if you do book a package and a ticket promo comes out later, you can remove the tickets from your package and buy the discounted tickets separately, which is another great way. I mean, I had multiple clients save hundreds of dollars because we removed the tickets from their package and bought the promo like park tickets that just came out. And so those are little discounts. They might not be room discounts, but they help.
So you've stayed at plenty of resorts. Do you have a let's go least favorite resort, either a Disney resort or even just offsite?
Okay. So it's really hard because I've loved like every single on-site stay. I did recently stay off-site at a condo that I did not like, and I will not recommend to people. It just felt dirty and cheap. So yeah, that was a bummer. We liked it so little that booked a night at the Contemporary for our last night, so our vacation ended on a high note.
Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah, that's not the condo that we're going back to, by the way. That was and I got it like last minute cheap kind of thing. But I think my least favorite Disney resort, and I can't speak into this, I've never personally stayed there because I am fighting it, is going to be Port Orleans Riverside.
Okay.
And I will give my reasons why we personally have not stayed there yet. It's far from the parks. You can get to Disney Springs. The rooms are also dark, like they have like the woods kind of theme, and I just don't love super dark spaces. And then like it's a huge resort, so not only are you far from the parks, but you have an internal bus system, and that's an extra bus.
Yeah.
Or like walking. And so we haven't stayed there yet for those reasons. But you can get really good discounts there, I think, for those reasons. So
Yeah, probably.
so if you're like flexible and not as like picky as Sarah today, Riverside would be a great resort, and it would be great for like even a resort centered stay.
Okay.
It's just not on my list, Nicole.
Yeah. That's okay. There's plenty of other resorts to choose from. That can be the very last one.
That's my last. So sorry.
Okay, so then let's go to your favorite.
I keep going back to Beach Club. I just can't shake the feeling we had when we stayed there as a family. So this was also a resort centered stay when we went there, and the checkout day we walked to Epcot. We walked to Epcot. Like, it was so wonderful. And the pool, we had a ball. Our kids are older. So, like, FYI, if you have toddlers, you might not love this pool, but we are more like, go do your thing, children, and we monitor around. So the pool was perfect. The smell of the resort was wonderful. Like, everything about that resort was just perfect. We love beaches and cream. We love riding the Skyliner for fun. So, yeah, we hope to stay there again, but cannot find a good deal. So it's not on. It's not in our future.
I'm kind of surprised that this one came over your poly stay.
Well, the Poly was so crowded.
Okay.
So a lot of people who stay offsite will come to the Poly to enjoy the amenities, and it took a little magic away because we were fighting crowds. Like, it was wild how busy. And then, like, the hot tub, which is for resort guests only, you have to like tap in with your magic band, but there was like 20 kids in it, and the water wasn't clear.
Oh no.
Hard pass. It's just so. So the Oasis pool, though, I could spend my whole life at the Oasis pool at the Poly and be fine, especially how they bring your food to you, like when you're sitting out. I was like, this is my jam. Yeah. Poly,
Oh,
that was the only reason the beach club kind of outranked it, was because the beach club isn't as like, because you can't get into the pool and everybody knows that. I don't think as many people visit that resort. So
I wonder if the poly is also kind of crowded because it's just so close to the TTC.
yeah, I think so. You can watch the Magic Kingdom fireworks from there, whether you're a guest or not, which is great. You should totally do it if you're not a guest. It's fine. But like, for someone paying a lot to stay there, you're kind of like, oh, I don't want to be where the people are.
Oh, so true, especially for that price point.
Yeah. I was like, but it's fine. Like, would stay there again. But yeah. Beach Club, I think that was also our first like time staying near like that close to a theme park as a family. Like, we've done Values or like Old Key West, which is further away. That was our first time like we can walk out to the beach and watch the fireworks, and it just, you can't ever replace that feeling. It's just so sweet with your kids. So
Yeah, I bet. Well, my goodness, you have definitely shared up plenty of insight on Disney and non-Disney resorts and hotels. But I know that you go into a lot more depth with your resort guide that you just came out with. So can you share a bit about that and also just what you do for your clients?
yeah, for sure. So to sum it up, I just wanted everybody to have access to all the information about Disney resorts, whether you work with a travel planner or not. And if you're going on the Disney website, you have to click, 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 click to find all this information. So kind of compiled it into one place so you can like see all the dining options, the transportation options to and from the parks, pros and cons of each resort, some personal experience, some just from research based. I haven't stayed at every resort yet. And I've also gone over some of the good neighbors, and you can check that out to see which ones have early entry and kind of the pros and cons of that situation too. But it's not too long. I think it's only 11 pages, and it should give you a good jumping point of like, okay, what's for me? You know, what's for my family? And that will help someone who doesn't go to Disney as much as me and you to kind of decide.
Awesome. And then you're also a Disney travel planner, so you do more besides just guiding through resort picking.
Yeah, for sure. So that's a huge part of a vacation. But then I help with park itineraries. I teach my clients how to use Genie Plus and Standby Skipper. And I help with dining reservations and all the enchanted extras. And I'm just like their Disney go-to. So if you're in the parks and you just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? This has happened. My clients can text me and I'm like there for them. And so it's kind of from start to finish, even after. For my clients, and I love all my clients. They've become like my little friends, and
Oh,
so sweet. I just am so thankful to be able to do this for people.
that's awesome. Well, Sarah provided a ton of amazing information to
Okay.
help guide you through picking the best resort for your family. So I will have all of her information, her Instagram, her guide, everything that you could possibly need from her is linked down in the description. And then if you have any questions about resorts, Disney with kids, feel free to leave them in the comments, or of course, reach out to Sarah, and we will be sure to answer every question that you may have about that. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next Magic Chat.
How fun. Thank you.